Welcome to the Explainer. So here's a weird thought. We know more about health than ever before, right? But somehow we seem to be getting sicker. We're going to dive into the work of Harvard's Daniel Lieberman to figure out what's going on with this huge disconnect. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's kick things off with a pretty staggering number, 75%. According to the CDC, that's how many diseases in the developed world are, get this, preventable. And yet, these are the exact same illnesses that are totally overwhelming our hospitals. How does that even make sense?
Well, to get to the bottom of it, we have to go back. I mean, way, way back. There's this idea in a field called evolutionary medicine, and it's called evolutionary mismatch. And it's actually pretty simple. Our bodies, our ancient bodies, are just not built for the crazy modern world we've made for ourselves. Just look at this. It really lays out the whole problem, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got the world our bodies evolved in. Constant movement, not a lot of food around. On the other hand, our world today. Barely moving, and calories, well, they're everywhere. That massive gap, that conflict, that's pretty much the root cause of so many of our health problems today. And you know, this whole mismatch thing has created some really big myths about stuff we do every single day, like moving and even just resting. So let's just bust a few of them, shall we? And we can start with something you're probably doing right this second, sitting.
Oh yeah, you've heard this one. It's designed to scare you, right? And it works. Makes you feel guilty just for sitting on your couch. But here's the thing. Professor Lieberman's research looked at hunter-gatherer groups, people who actually sit about as much as we do. And it turns out the story is way more complicated than that.
See, here's the real difference. It's not that we sit, it's how we sit. We tend to just plant ourselves for long, long stretches without moving. But hunter-gatherers, they're up and down all the time, every 10 or 15 minutes. And those tiny little interruptions, those are the magic ingredient. They're what kickstarts your metabolism and keeps your blood sugar in check. All right, let's talk about another one of those golden rules, right? The 8 hours of sleep. It's been drilled into our heads forever. You have to get your 8 hours. But is that what our bodies are actually designed for? Is that the real human standard? Turns out, probably not. I mean, if you look at the data from those same hunter-gatherer groups, they're clocking in around 6 to 7 hours a night. And you know what? Huge health studies back this up. For most of us, about 7 hours seems to be the sweet spot for living a long, healthy life. So yeah, chasing those extra hours might not be the goal after all. Okay, let's switch gears and head over to the gym because we need to talk about the absolute biggest myth when it comes to exercise. It's the main reason millions of us work out, but it might be completely missing the point. So the myth is exercise is the #1 way to lose weight. But the reality? It's your diet. That's what really moves the needle on the scale. You just can't outrun a bad diet, as they say. But exercise has this other incredible superpower. It is, without a doubt, the single best thing you can do to stop yourself from gaining weight to begin with, and, crucially, to keep it from coming back. The science on this is just crystal clear. All right, let's tackle another big one. This is probably the #1 excuse people have for not running, right? That nagging fear in the back of your mind that all that pounding is just grinding your knees into dust, and you're going to end up with terrible arthritis. Well, the evidence is in, and it's super clear. Running does not cause arthritis in knees that are otherwise healthy. Your joints are not like tires on a car. They don't just wear out from being used. In fact, it's the opposite. Being active actually triggers your body's own repair crews to keep your cartilage healthy. A lot of the running injuries we see today, they actually come down to bad form, which, ironically, is often caused by those super cushioned shoes that let us get away with it. So, if exercise is so amazing for us, why is it so darn hard to do sometimes, right? Why does it feel like such a battle to just get yourself to the gym? Well, the answer is hardwired right into our DNA. Professor Lieberman had this amazing aha moment when he was talking to a runner from the Tarahumara tribe in Mexico, the famous long-distance runners. The guy just asked him, why would anybody run if you didn't have to? And it just clicked. For our ancestors who were already covering miles and miles every day just to find food, the idea of going for a run for fun would have been insane. Exercise, as we think of it, is a really weird, really new thing for humans to do. And our brains are still operating on that ancient software. There's a term for it, hyperbolic discounting. It just means we are naturally wired to choose the easy, immediate reward, like say the comfort of the escalator, over a much bigger reward that's way off in the future, like better health from taking the stairs.
It's not you being lazy. It's a deep, deep instinct to save energy. It's biology, not a character flaw. And this all leads us to what might be the single most powerful idea in this whole explainer. Think about physical activity not as a chore, not as a way to manage your weight, but as the key, the literal key to slowing down how fast your body ages.
And that's where our whole approach to health goes completely off the rails. Our healthcare system, it's totally backwards. I mean, look at this. We pour almost all of our money into treating diseases after they happen, and basically nothing into preventing them in the first place. That's like waiting for your house to burn down before you even think about buying a smoke detector. It's crazy.
And here is why prevention is so critical. Exercise is our best weapon against something scientists call senescence. That's basically just the gradual breakdown of our bodies as we get older. When you're active, you are literally flipping the switches on your body's own repair and maintenance systems. We're talking about protecting everything from your DNA all the way up to your brain. And this might be the most important thing you hear today. That old idea that you should slow down and take it easy as you get older. It is not just wrong, it's actually dangerous. This huge Harvard study proved that the benefits you get from exercise actually get bigger the older you are. For folks in their 60s and 70s, being active was tied to a 50% lower risk of dying. It doesn't become less important, it becomes more important.
So at the end of the day, this isn't about feeling guilty for taking the escalator. It's just about understanding that we're running ancient hardware in a modern world. It's about making small, smart choices. There's that great saying, genes load the gun, but the environment pulls the trigger. And the amazing part is, you get a say in how that trigger gets pulled. Thanks for joining us.